how about a Stafford middle finger? You want to nibble on that? Because Matthew Stafford on Sunday Night Football was outstanding. But there are two things at play here. One is the general emotional state of a Lions fan watching that game. Some of you numbnuts are going to do this whole, oh, I'm rooting for him. I'm so happy for him. Oh. And then,
wait, how they sound?
And then others, the other end of the numbnuts spectrum is the people who are openly wishing for the man's legs to be broken, mafia style. And I think those people have mental issues too. I'm in a point where I don't care. I can watch it. I can appreciate it for what it is. I think he will do well. Is there a small part of me that wants to see the Fords shamed? Sure. Like if Stafford went out on the field with a towel that said FWCF or something, I'd be like, wow, savage. But that's
not going to
happen. But here's my thing. Now, I know I'm not technically a Detroiter because you people won't give me my card, even though I've been here since 98.
You know what? I don't think you want the card.
I don't know that I do either.
You don't want the card, Mike. You said you want it.
I don't think people appreciate it.
But then you badmouth things like Coney Island.
No.
You badmouth
I
a lot of
call
stuff.
it the way it is.
You don't want the card.
Oh, okay.
Do you like Fago?
No comment.
Then you don't want the card.
I'm not commenting on whether I do or don't like anything. I'm taking a political approach. Leave me out of it.
Okay.
It seems to work for a lot of those people.
That's why we're short-staffed.
Yeah, we're short-staffed today. That's the... Yeah, okay. Now, if I may, as someone who doesn't have their Detroit card but should have their Detroit card but has worked, I've enriched this community now for almost 20 years. I've made this community better. I take offense to something regarding Matthew Stafford. I take offense to the idea that Matthew Stafford is up on the cross in loincloth and a crown of thorns. The national media, in their rewriting of Matthew Stafford's career, that in the same breath, and you know when you guys were home watching this, you felt the same, you thought the same. They're putting a graphic up how he's 5-63 against teams with a winning record. And I got to listen to Chris Collinsworth go, boy, I tell you, I never realized how good this guy was. You know, we don't do a lot of Detroit games. Yuck, yuck, yuck,
Yeah,
yuck,
we
yuck.
don't do Detroit Sunday nights.
Let me get this straight. Well, I'll tell you, this guy, he's so much better than I realized. Oh, you know the one thing he's never had? Never had a running game or a defense. Basically making it out that Matthew Stafford was a hostage with the Lions. Now, are the Lions blameless? No. They have a horrendous ownership group who's always been horrendous, and all they do is pass it down to the next soon-to-be horrendous person who's 75 or older, and then they'll pass it down when they're 95 to someone else who's never worked a day in their life, and they're 70, and they'll be terrible. My point is, Matthew Stafford played a role in his career. He played a role in his shortcomings, and he played a role here where in big games, he choked. He didn't come through for us. He played 7-8 years with a first ballot Hall of Fame receiver, and they have you think he's out there with street bums. He had arguably #1 defense in the league in 2013. He didn't win a playoff game. This narrative from the national media has got to stop, because as a Detroiter, whether I like your team or not, I almost feel like it is bothering me. Enough. Oh, Kelly Stafford. Oh, Matthew's never been happier. Yeah, you know what, Kel? Then give the money back. Guy made $30 million a year and never beat a soul. Oh, it must have been terrible here, right? You don't get to say how amazing it was, and then you make a stupid PSA when you leave town. Oh, now I got to hear about how he's never been happier. Choose. Pick.
Crying every time they deposited that check. It's just so bad.
Is anyone else sick of making Stafford the victim here? Like, can both parties just be an accomplice?
No. Because here's what's going to happen. If you're a Detroiter, you better get used to this. Mike, here's when you get your Detroit card. When you realize the national media is going to escalate the whole Detroit versus everybody, because Detroiters are now the scumbag ex-boyfriend who sits on the couch,
What did we do to
smokes
him?
weed,
What did we do to him?
drinks,
Wait a minute,
plays video games.
Wait a minute.
And you
What's
didn't
wrong with
appreciate
video games? I resent
No.
that remark.
But you're just that bad ex-boyfriend who didn't appreciate what you had.
All Detroit
and now
did.
the girl has gone on and just is living her best life because you drug her down.
No, all we did was give this man 3 contracts that he said yes to.
No,
he
the
didn't have
national
to say
media-
yes to all 3.
No.
Matthew Stafford was comfortable losing. Call it what it is. He was just fine. Who wants pizza? He signed that second deal.
not
He didn't
to-
have to.
to the
and he
national
signed
media?
the 3rd deal and didn't have to. And I said this. If I were Matthew Stafford, I never would re-sign. I would demand out. I said, if you truly want to be a winner, you get out of here because you feel like I'm better than this. Well, he didn't, because Matthew Stafford didn't want to be a leader, and he didn't want to be the guy. You know what he liked? He likes being one of the boys. He likes being one of 53.
No. Matthew Stafford doesn't like stirring the pot.
Right.
He doesn't like
Too bad.
He doesn't want the bad attention. So he's letting everybody else say, oh, my God, I'm so happy you got out of there. You might as well call Detroit.
And I get it. It's not a great place to play, but to act like he doesn't take responsibility.
He doesn't have to
We need
now.
to win one of the last 3 games to win the division. He falls down the stairs. We go into the playoffs against Seattle. They don't score a TD. 6 points the last 3 quarters against Dallas in a playoff
No.
game. Dude, this guy had opportunities to get it done. I understand he didn't have a ton of help. But guess what? Plenty of other QBs play in plenty of other bad situations.
Plenty of
and
other
they
QBs
rise above.
had a lot less than Calvin Johnson, first ballot Hall of Famer, to throw to. Could you imagine?
Ask the people.
Give Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. Hey, would you like Calvin on your team? Nah, I'll just stick with these bums that I'll turn into stars.
I want to ask you guys out there in listener land. I don't care what your reaction is to Stafford in L.A. I'm not judging. Maybe you're rooting for him. Maybe you're not. Maybe it bothered you. Maybe it didn't. That's up to you. But what should bother you, and I want your thoughts on this narrative being created where Stafford is a martyr now. Oh, he's Mother Teresa.
Dude.
He's feeding a leper colony with his bare hands. Oh, Matthew Stafford was rescued. Oh, he was a hostage. Oh, my God, in Detroit, they had him with a tack hammer crushing rocks.
Man, Detroit is Bobby Brown marrying Whitney Houston. You drug her down. You're the bad person.
Well, that's actually true. Bobby was a very bad influence on Whitney.
It actually wasn't. He just brought out what Whitney really was. But that's a whole nother story in and of itself. Whitney wasn't the greatest person.
Well, no, I just meant that his proclivities probably didn't help. We're really not breaking down Whitney
No.
Houston and Bobby Brown right now.
You know
are we?
Roberto's not paying attention.
Coming up next, Roberto knows for you.
No, but I say that to say, Detroit, you better get used to every week.
I don't want to get used to it.
You're the scumbag ex-boyfriend who just didn't appreciate what you had.
Okay, but answer me this. We made this guy, he's going to be the richest NFL player in history by the time it's done. He didn't have a gun to his head to keep signing here.
No.
He chose to stay. He chose to not go to management. He chose to not take a bigger power role here.
And you know what else he's choosing not to say? Hey guys, it wasn't that bad in Detroit. Some of this was on me.
Oh, no, right. Him and Kel.
Some of this was on me.
Oh, him and his wife are just loving this now. Now it's this whole watch
Him,
the world burn
His
from a good,
wife
safe
and
distance.
whoever that other woman was that was on camera.
No, I think it's fine for both things to be true. Where the Lions failed him and he failed the Lions, and ultimately the marriage needed to dissolve.
How about you just let it go and just talk about the great game that he had? Because he had a great game. Opening week, he's out there living his best life, going to Dodgers games, seeing his best buddy. But every time you got to hear how bad it was for him in Detroit. And if it was that bad, as you said, you could have easily asked out. But you kept re-signing and coming back.
Rico, they have you believing that
You're doing the Ford commercials.
His career here had Sarah McLachlan music in the background, and Stafford was in a cage shivering like a malnourished dog. I mean, it's just, like, don't you take offense to that watching the games, Kenny? Sunday night was galling.
Yeah, the Collinsworth love, all of it acting like, oh, he's this victim. Yeah, it made me sick.
Better get used to it, Kenny.
Oh, I'm ready for it. I've mentally had
trust
to
me,
prepare myself.
By
This isn't going away.
Thanksgiving, you're not even going to want to watch any Rams games because you're going to hear how bad you were.
Oh, and then when the playoffs roll around, imagine that. Oh, Stafford in the playoffs. This is new.
Yeah, and then the best part will be if he falls short, the media will never have to answer for it. It's the same thing they do with Michigan. They want to push the narrative, get the clicks. Hey, come to our outdated form of media. Oh, yeah, get our paper. It's $1. I'll pass. I wouldn't let my dog duty on it. The point is, sell the garbage, get the idiot masses, and then when Michigan falls down the stairs again, nobody has to answer for it. Nobody ever has to answer for it. Stafford damn well better get that team minimum to the NFC title game. Because to me, what they're doing now makes it sound like Stafford was something he never was here. Stafford was a very good player. He was never, and I repeat, never elite.